Welcome, everybody. We're back with some classic cartoons, some anthropomorphic fighting radical animal cartoons, sticking along those lines of the Turtles and Street Sharks
Yep.
and things like that. I am once again joined by my fellow Broichi boys, Wilson and Eric.
Oh yeah. Also,
CPAs by day, extreme sports by night.
Yep.
And today we have a special one because we're returning to some classic Hanna-Barbera cartoons. This one is called SWAT KATS. Do you guys remember SWAT KATS?
I do.
Okay.
Oh, I love this SWAT kid. Love this SWAT kid.
What do you remember from it?
They were dudes that flew around in a fucking sick plane and beat bad guys up.
Were they brothers?
I don't know.
I believe they were brothers. Yes.
Potentially.
They were like a Laurel and Hardy
No,
kind of archetype, right? One was big and stout, one was kind of tall and skinny. Is that the duo?
They were not brothers. It was Jake Razor Clausen and Chance T-Bone Furlong.
See,
Clausen and Furlong.
I don't get it.
They were members of Mega Cat City's paramilitary law enforcement agency known as the Enforcers. They were dishonorably discharged from the Enforcers after disobeying the orders. We'll learn all this.
Just wait. We'll learn all of it. We'll learn all of the lore of the SWAT KATS and how they became
But yeah,
SWAT team.
like I said, it takes place in Mega Cat City, populated by anthropomorphic felines known as cats with a K. And then it follows two vigilante pilots who possess a futuristic fighter jet with a way of weaponry.
Ooh.
Throughout the series, they face various villains as well as competition. Mega Cat City's militarized police force called the Enforcers.
Oof. Okay. Well,
You guys care to venture a guess of how many episodes there were?
less than
Okay.
20.
Hold on.
Less than 20.
Oh, I was going to say before we start getting at numbers, I just want to. Was there more than one season?
Yeah.
Okay. 52.
Tyler?
Well, I said less than 20, but if you said more than one season, I'll do 40. I'll just bump it. I'll double that.
26 with 3 left on air.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Okay.
I found that when we were talking about Biker Mice last time, you guys were like, I don't really remember this, but that show was on for quite a while, comparatively. And this was only on, new episodes were on 93 to 95 for 2 seasons.
Wow. I wonder if that was the same
Don't
structure
take
for a lot of Hanna-Barbera stuff.
93.
Well, I don't know.
85. So it just kind of like base logic. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. Using like base logic, a season per year.
Meow.
But that's so. How many did Biker Mice have?
Biker Mice. Let me go back. I got
Or like, well, I guess that's more the metric that I'm kind of thinking of right now. You could have easily told me just as easily that See, I can't.
Biker
easily
Mice.
That SWAT KATS was like, oh, this aired. There was only enough for it to air over one summer, and then it was only like in syndication.
So Biker Mice premiered September 19th, 1993, and went through to February 24th, 1996, with 65 episodes.
Wow.
So there's almost 3 times the amount of episodes of Biker Mice than there was of SWAT KATS.
Land-based vehicular rodents greater than aerial-based felines.
Felines. Yeah.
The technological animal math is working itself out in my head. Beautiful mind.
Oh yeah.
You just see pictures and images floating in your head of cats and rats.
Somebody get me a chalkboard.
It originally premiered and aired on the syndication block The Funtastic World of Hanna-Barbera, as well as on TBS Superstation.
Superstation? Do you remember Superstation? Good lord.
Yeah.
That's a throwback name.
It was basically just like a TV show that just showed an ass ton of syndicated TV shows. But
Okay. I'm curious what's in that the rest of the Hanna-Barbera block then.
Yeah, the Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera was a syndication block that ran from 1985 to 1994. It had The Adventures of Don Quixote and Sancho Panda. I didn't know about that, but I need to find that. From 1990 to 93, Dastardly and Muttley and Their Flying Machines, Fantastic Max, Flintstone Kids, let's see, the 90's Jetsons, New Adventures of Johnny Quest.
I watched that.
Let's see, Paddington Bear from 89 to 90, Pirates of Dark Water,
Hey.
Richie
Really?
Rich, the 80s. Yeah. Snorks, dude.
Oh my
Fucking
gosh.
Snorks. SWAT Kats. Before it moved to Cartoon Network, Two Stupid Dogs was on there. Um, yeah, Yogi's Treasure Hunt, Yo Yogi, Young Robin Hood. So, I mean, there's a few in there that we know.
Wow. I was thinking it was more like maybe Space Ghost and uh like what was the one the Universe Knots or
Universe Not?
that's not their name, but it's like the He-Man kind of guy, the two blobs, the big ape
Oh,
thing, the
Herculoids?
Herculoids. Thank you, Eric.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah.
that you'd have that pull, but yeah, I was thinking like Herculoids and etc. for that.
Oh, dude. I
Barbarian.
just looked up Don Coyote and Sancho Panda. I do remember this. Very vaguely. Just remember that design. And I think I could kind of hear his voice in my head. Remember that shit. Weird. All right. But yeah. So I'm sure it's just the thing. When we talk about these two, I have to like think about whether I saw them when they were like on first run or if I caught them on
Like a syndication kind of deal.
yeah, but like like Tree
93.
Sharks and Biker Mice had to be first run because I got the toys for them. You know what I mean? SWAT Kats, I don't know. I mean, 93 to 95, I would have been 3 to 5 years old when this was on. So like,
I definitely feel like I did not watch this show during that age group. Like
yeah, that's what makes it tough. I don't remember.
Syndication later than 93 to 95 then,
Yeah.
and it's only like 2 years, like 97, 98 or something, when it's on a different, maybe not that specific Hanna-Barbera block, but on like a different Cartoon Network whatever block they would have made
Right.
at that day and age.
So the story of the cancellation is kind of interesting, because like SWAT Kats was the #1 syndicated animated show of 1994. Yeah, due to the program's success, Hanna-Barbera planned to release new episodes, posters, and other works in '95. However, the show was ultimately canceled with 3 unfinished episodes. So what happened was Ted Turner, CEO of Turner Broadcasting System, which produced and aired the show, was reportedly displeased with the level of violence in his cartoons, leading to the delay of its merchandising and its eventual cancellation. Turner went on record in front of Congress and in an early 1995 interview after the show's cancellation stated that we have more cartoons than anybody. The Flintstones, Jetsons, Smurfs, Scooby-Doo, they're non-violent. We don't have to worry that we're encouraging kids to kill each other like some of the other cartoons programs do.
Ooh, shade.
It was more of a comment directed at TV shows at the time like Beavis and Butthead. But yeah, so it's interesting. I mean, there were toys made, like you said.
The toys. I remember the toys for sure.
There was the video game for Super Nintendo. There was a Sega Mega Drive game based on SWAT Kats that was in development, but it was canceled before being completed. Yeah, so a lot of stuff around that time.
Without looking at any material to tell you whether this is factual or not, what are our over-unders on whether these guys have alter egos from being the SWAT Kats?
Oh, high probability that they do
I don't
have
know,
alter egos.
Yeah,
they're on the run from what Broadshow kind of surmises that they left this other agency or they got dishonorably discharged or something. So they're posing as, from my memory, I think they're mechanics in a shop. And then they turn into the SWAT Kats. They don like a cowl, kind of like how you see here, and then they do vigilantism. Yeah.
Yes. I wonder if maybe the leaders of the enforcers or whatever, I wonder if they maybe know it's their agents, ex-law enforcement agents.
Yeah, maybe. I was kind of having some memory of alter egos, like you said, mechanic.
But the public probably doesn't know.
And then, like, some kind of character relationship, or like almost Gordon, like lieutenant or whatever you want to call him, commissioner or whatever, Gordon from Batman dynamic, where it's like, well, you're a vigilante, but since you're in there on the inside taking care of things anyways, might as well try to like guide, like work with you a little bit.
Sure, yeah, I can see that.
I
Stick
think
to those
female
tropes.
character or something like that. I don't know.
Well, I guess we'll have to see. We'll find out after you watch it. Should we jump in?
We'll find out.
What the fuck? Godzilla. This already rules. He's got to breathe oxygen in low atmosphere. Oh, that was radical, dude.
It's that feeling after you like eat a popsicle and drink a huge glass of Kool-Aid, and you're just like, yeah.
Standing on your couch. Yeah.
90's Kid Sugar Rush music. 90's
Yep.
Kid Sugar Rush music.
Uh-huh. Very much so.
All right, so we just finished SWAT Kats. That was a trip and a half. Trip through time and everything. Yeah, we saw a little glimpse there. I was right in my assumption, in my memory, that they're kind of like mechanics. We don't get a lot of the lore, but we get to know the bad guy.
I think it's kind of like a lot of these cartoons. I think it's like a lot of these cartoons where it's like the first episode just gets you into the action, and then like a few episodes down the line, then they tackle the origin. You know,
where did these cats get this plane? Why are their clothes like they have so much that is themed like this too, and just
creates intrigue.
Like the fucking any sort of relationship between the SWAT Kats and the enforcers or the blonde chick or like any of the other, even the mayor. I remember them interacting with the mayor, but like we kind of just got them isolated on their own doing their thing.
Yeah, it's very much just here's a mission, here's how it works episode. But cool because you get the past master. It was like fucking Mum-Ra and like Rita Repulsa combined, and like once he gets his book, you open a time portal and bring back animals of the past, and brings a big old T-Rexy Godzilla thing, and then the SWAT Kats get sucked into the portal and all sorts of stuff. It's a nice, fun little episode.
How many?
Taskmaster doesn't necessarily like, because sometimes they will include whether it's Power Rangers or whoever it is that's doing like Monster of the Week or introducing somebody new, they'll kind of tie in what the person is about or their powers or some part of them to like the lesson or the theme of that episode or whatever it is. That I don't really think that was happening here, and it's just this guy feels like when we're talking about like they made toys after a certain time, I feel like this is just like the bread and butter of being like, oh, we got a toy for villain. We got the Taskmaster, and he comes with dinosaurs and a book for him, and it's just perfect. Like,
perfect for toys.
Little toy.
Cats look cool. You got a fucking cool plane. You got Taskmaster, and he's got a book accessory, and he's got fucking dinosaurs. And it's great.
I was gonna ask, how many different weapons did we see the SWAT Kats use?
Not enough.
There was like at least 3.
So many because the jet had like 1 billion fucking weapons that it used, and even they're fucking ejector chair.
Ejector chair, octo missiles.
I'm curious about the origin because I just want to know, like, are they financing all this? Do they just like do they order this stuff? Do they build it? Like, I'm curious what's going on there.
I think that'll be covered probably in another episode, because making a cement gun on like a ship, that's crazy.
I can reveal some things if we want to get into characters and voices.
Yeah, we had a few hints of a voice. Like, I thought one of the cats, the skinny one, it was probably like a Michelangelo or Leonardo.
Well, you were wrong. He was Donatello.
Oh, he was Donnie. Okay.
Yep. So that character, Razor, voiced by Barry Gordon, a.k.a. Donatello. Razor's name's Jake Clausen, smaller size, older member. He's the confident leader, an ace mechanical genius who designed the various gadgets and advanced weaponry used in the Turbo Cat.
Gotcha.
Serves as the radar interceptor and weapons control officer in the Thundercat. In the Turbo Cat,
he's a Donatello typecast. Donatello.
He's literally
archetype.
But
I make the gadgets.
That's interesting though. That it's like I didn't know that in the plane there's like a division of labor. Even that's kind of interesting.
Well, you think it's kind of like in like X-Wings too, right? You've got the gunner and you've got the pilot, right? kind of the same situation.
Yeah, but when it's like, especially a cartoon, it's like,
Yeah.
I guess they probably, obviously they go into, you know, delineating these things at some point, but I never caught that. But if you don't catch that, it's not something that is like, oh well, they're gonna even worry about that. There's just two cats in a cool plane.
Right. The other one, T-Bone, that's Chance Furlong. Larger size, but slightly younger. He's the pilot. Very protective of Razor and the Turbo Cat. Obviously, he's the more daring of the two. He's voiced by Charlie Adler, who we would know as Buster Bunny on Tiny Toon Adventures, the Big Heads on Rocko's Modern Life,
Oh my gosh.
Ickis on Our Real Monsters. He's done Cobra Commander before. He was Starscream in the Transformers film series. Got that kind of voice.
The big heads. That's amazing.
Yeah. And Wilson, you also hit the nail on the head. Mayor Manx is voiced by Jim Cummings.
Okay, I thought so.
He's been the mayor for 10 terms. And then also, Wilson, you hit the nail on the head again with Calico Callie Briggs, voiced by Tress McNeil, who was the voice of Babs Bunny on Tiny Toon Adventures, as well as Chip and Gadget on Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers.
That's the one you called out, right, Wilson? You said Gadget?
Well, to me, that's the one that I'm surprised I got right, because I couldn't even.
Yeah.
I have such little memory of that show. I couldn't even remember the character's name. But yeah,
She also was the voice of Agnes.
Stick with you.
Agnes Skinner, Brandine Spuckler, Lindsay Nagel, Dolph Shapiro, and Crazy Cat Lady in The Simpsons. Yeah, she's in all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
Let's see if there's anybody else.
What about the
Hamill's done a voice in there. Frank Welker's done voices for it. The Taskmaster, Taskmaster is a guy named, saw you like a minute ago. There you go. A guy named Keen Curtis. He's a character actor in a bunch of TV and movies, and has done just a bunch of cartoon voices too. So,
nice
Rob Paulson,
cartoon villain.
Yep, Rob Paulson, of course, has done voices in this.
Okay.
Jim Cummings done multiple voices, as he tends to do. Frank Welker's done a few. Roddy McDowell.
Wow.
Michael Dorn.
Sorry to interrupt. Does it say at all if what Taskmaster is? Is he a cat or like?
Yeah, he's a cat.
Oh,
okay. The city's all anthropomorphic cats.
Sure. With his atypical design, I wasn't sure if it was like, is he?
He was described as an undead sorcerer from the Dark Ages who tried to conquer his home city, traveled through time using his magical mechanical pocket watch, and with his magical spell book, the Dome of Time, summon extinct or mythical creatures such as diceless dragons. This is all a form of modern technology. So yeah,
it should just be like, unless explicitly stated otherwise, a cat.
Yeah, everybody's cats.
It's a cat.
It's the whole city. Everybody's cats.
But here's the thing, though. Like, for being a cartoon where everybody is anthropomorphic cats and it's Mega Cat City,
yeah,
there are, outside of like Mega Cat City, I cannot think of many. Like, you would expect a show like this to just be riddled with like, oh, perfect, or like feline, like puns or wordplay, like on signs, or just etc.
Well, their names are, one's Furlong and one's Clausen.
Yeah, and they're like,
that's their civilian names, not their cool guy names.
Yeah, it's not too offensive, but like, I know what Wilson's saying. Where they say like, "Oh, take a cat nap," or like too many leaning into those kind of puns, one-liners.
Whether it's lines or like we're seeing, they're all anthropomorphic cats. I'm saying that like for the most part, they don't have to be cats. They could be humans. They could be any other number of things, and this still works. But you would almost expect a show like this to be like, oh, there's an entire scene of, it's not even a comedic scene, but like a bunch of cat people going into a building, and it's like a bar, but instead of like beer, they're all getting served milk because they're cats,
and they're lapping
and
it up on the ground.
It's they'd probably go into a bar and have cartoon like drinks, whatever the frickin' drink would be.
And they're like national sport. Like if they go to a game, they just watch people bat around a yarn ball.
Something like not silly and comedic, but a cat inclusion of like it's hard to say where it's like it's not intended to be an overt joke of like, oh haha, laugh at this, but it's like, well, because they're cats, we have to make it like cat specific. It felt with the dialogue and with like look, even the sign here, Museum of History. When you said that out loud, I had to look because I was like, oh, is it HISS? Because I was like, it's a fucking kids cartoon. They're probably gonna try and like the writers or whoever like let's swing for the fences. Let's get like all the bites at the apple that we can. But it seemed like they were restrained, and it almost made it seem more like mature in a way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's similar to like Bracho was saying, like a Mumra, like sticking to like the action, not necessarily downplaying it with comedic timing and stuff like that. Like they will quip and have some banter, but when it gets into the action, it's all about that. So it's sort of like these action shots are great. Like they really went hyper focused on the shading and all that stuff.
So, I think my phone's about to die, so I'm gonna get some broad facts out real quick.
Sure.
So they're back in like about a decade ago. There was a Kickstarter to get it revived from the original creators, the Tremblay brothers. Things ended up not working out, but in 2022 they teamed up with another group to get it going. They showed like the preview art at like a convention. Used a more kind of 3D style than 2D. But the most recent thing is they are doing a comic book. I saw a Kickstarter for that not too long ago.
Ask about that.
That's yeah. So that's in the process of being made right now. So yeah, they're still kicking. They're still kicking around.
That's interesting.
We may get some new content.
That's kind of cool. I mean, I kind of like that. We were watching something from the past, from our childhood, and then after a while, it just kind of gets a little resurgence, and something as easy as a comic book kind of run would be awesome to check out.
Perfect for nostalgia stuff.
Yeah.
That's why there's so much of it right now. There's a big nostalgia kick for old cartoons and comic books, and toys are kind of fulfilling that. Because all of these that we've talked about have had that kind of thing recently too, right?
Yep.
We've all had new toys, new comics, sorts of stuff. The prologue to the Thundercats versus Silverhawks just came out this week. So like,
nice.
So like the comic for that. So these things are still kicking. You want to find them, you can.
Definitely invest in physical media while you can right now. That's my big thing is physical media is where it's at again, and it's having a resurgence, and it's gonna save humanity. That's my take.
The tactileness of it is great.
Yeah, it is, and it's the shareability. You can keep it forever. You don't have to like find it somewhere on a server or on a phone. You can open it up.
I like the finality or the like purposefulness of it, where it's so easy these days to start something that you have not seen, or maybe it's so easy to just be like, oh, I'm not interested anymore, and dip out and go to something else, as to where it's not as easy to just like, well, time to take this thing out or rewind it, and that feel purposeful when you're doing it.
Yeah, there's ritual. There's like ritual to it. It's great.
Yeah, we want to let Bradshaw at least say his sign off before his phone dies. So
yeah, I'm at like 2%, so I might just ghost out at some point.
I'd like to say thanks for joining us on this installment of our anthropomorphic radical animal shows that we're watching, and we'll be back. Bradshaw, let us know what's the next one on our list.
The next one? Oh boy.
You fade away.
It's death now for my phone. There we go. It is. Oh no. Race the clock.
Is it Cowboys?
Cowboys of Mesa.
Cowboys. I was going to say, I think I knew what it was, but I just wanted to be doubly sure. But yeah, Cowboys of Moo Mesa, which is
one of my favorites, kind of. I don't know
Okay.
why. I kind of know why, but I don't know why. I love it.
I
We'll get
think
it,
I played the video game, the arcade game. I remember it being, or maybe no, that was Sunset Riders, wasn't it?
We played.
I don't know.
Yeah, I know Sunset. I don't know if Moon Mesa has a video game,
Was-
but
was
I'd be
Sunset
interested to
Riders
try.
out? I think it was. I don't know. That's a different conundrum for different time.
You're right.
I don't whether I'm prepared to watch cowmen be cowboys.
be cowboys. I'm interested in maybe looking into the video game for SWAT Kats, maybe eventually at some point. But yeah, thanks for joining us on this episode. We'll be back with one shortly, so stick around and let us know what you think in the comments. If you've seen SWAT Kats, or if you have another Hanna-Barbera classic that we should revisit, let us know. Thanks for joining us. Bye.
Goodbye.